I'm so excited for... Oh, and they released a trailer for Halloween Ends.
What?
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that for sure. Hey, people, I know that you can hear us talking now, but waiting music was requested, and I don't have time to fuck with my settings, so here you go. This is what we got. Give me a sec, I gotta get my lights on.
That's fine, I'm gonna be...
All we get is aggressive. That's all we got.
Do you know why? Because the Council of Spooky Bitches decreed it as such.
I was gonna say because I'm Batman, but alright.
Oh my god. Nah, man. We're 7 weeks away from spooky season. Actually, 3 weeks for Spooktober.
Spooktober, Spooktober, Spooktober.
Can't wait to watch to have to get him to play Siren.
I also have it. I can probably play it.
I don't care who does, I just want to see the game being played. I'm told it's a spooky good time.
And I just want one of those good PS1 classics where they fuck with you real hard. Right? Yup. It's not fucking showing us. Yeah. Discord's not there for us.
Super his ass.
There we go.
His ass.
Okay, here we are. We're live now. We have
Hello, internet.
we have stuff to talk about, but Jim's running late. You know, classic Jim shenanigans. So, I am Blake of the aforementioned Blake and the Casual, and joining me as always is one of our good guests here, Swim Sniper 45, aka David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
Good boy. Last I heard, he was picking up vape juice. Yeah, that sounds like Jim.
Is he gonna pick me up some milk while he's out?
Oh, you know that he's never gonna do that. Alright,
Dream.
so we have a bunch of stuff that we can talk about on the docket today. For starters, we have House of the Dragon, which, Rings of Power, which I'm also, Cobra
I've purposely chosen not to watch any of these.
Cobra Kai has a new season. Actually pretty good. As all of it has routinely been thus far, so yeah. What else did I put in the title for this? I don't remember now.
I'll tell you something we can do.
What's that?
We got a pre-game for Spooktober. Because we only have two podcasts left till then?
Yes.
This one and the
you.
next one?
That is true. Oh, Jurassic. I watched the new Jurassic World also. That's the other thing I put in there. I would love to bitch about that because that was god awful. I've been watching High School of the Dead. It's not very hot. That's
You
because
gotta get past the first 2 episodes, then it gets like, then we get into the Bikini Zombie Slayer territory.
yeah, you're also you should read it instead, not watch it.
The manga's been discontinued.
But the manga still has more stuff and is better than the anime because it's uncensored.
Well, I was gonna say it's also even more depressing.
I mean, depression should come with the apocalypse, I feel. Should it not?
Shout out to Big Titted Police Girl. If for the real ones, you know what I'm talking about.
Big titted police girl. So, we do have Spooktober to talk about. That is coming up here in 3 weeks. And as per usual, it's going to be a jam-packed time of shit because we're going to be following through with what we did before. And that means that we're going to have something going on every goddamn day.
Every goddamn day.
Every goddamn day. More than likely,
Lord.
it's gonna be spoopy shit. If you want to see a list of stuff that we have available to play, which will be updated in the near future to contain the multitudes of new free shit that I have gained in the last calendar year, it's in this Spooktober channel that you can see displayed on the screen right here in front of you. There are a good number of things that will be coming out in October that will also be very interesting. You can see we have some shit we can do. Some ancient blood point codes.
Oh yeah, Dead by Daylight is a popular time this time of year. I think also last year, Jim did a Junji Ito reading
He
of some of
did.
his material.
You did. You can see
So
some Junji Ito like stuff here in the display right now. So yeah, we have Dark Pictures Anthology, Moon of Madness, Plague Tale, Daymare 1998, Outlast, which was not really as fun to play in this current era as I thought it would be, Mists of Aden, Phasmophobia, which is a trash pile, any Resident Evil game now. All of them, I have all of them. The Dead Space trilogy, and the Amnesia game, Hollow Knight, which I finished and I'm not looking forward to ever doing again. Claire Extended Cut, Returnal, Days Gone, Remnant from Ashes, Bloodborne, Friday the 13th, The Coma, Layers of Fear, Zombie, Soul Reaver 2, Monster Prom, Monster Camp, Siren Blood Curse, Dead by Daylight, Call of Cthulhu, Control, which is weird, but here we are, Darkest Dungeon, Murdered Soul Suspect, Evil Within 2, because we've already done Evil Within 1, The Letter, Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York, Vampire, which we've already played, The Happy Few, which it's horrifying, but for stupid reasons, and then Werewolf the Apocalypse. I have not played Cthulhu Saves Christmas on stream. I know that is an RPG, so as always, we are open to suggestions as well because I have expanded my roster quite a bit, so I'll have to update those, and those will be pinned messages, probably
Jim
following the stream
still owes
today.
me a playthrough of Siren 3 Blood Call.
It is true, he does. So, we got options. Watch it again to play. It's true, you did. Okay, so if we've got anything else, I said Joseph
I have to go for a Bonding of Isaac playthrough at some point too. That'd be another fun one.
Advice on cyber sleuth at some point would be nice. Okay. I can run you through all of that. That would be fun. I could do that. I am an expert on Cyber Sleuth. I think I actually bought it a second time. The last photo is inappropriate. You don't say. You don't say, buddy. So, alternatively, oh yeah, you have to learn how to do stuff. That is part of playing the game. You know, every RPG is like that. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought now.
Cobra, every RPG is the same, and for everything else, there's MasterCard.
That is very accurate. Until you get to Final Fantasy, and they have to change it every fucking game.
Hey man, I'm thinking about buying a PS4 just so I can play 16.
You are not thinking this through if you think that's going to be on the PS4 and runnable.
PS5, you know what I mean.
I'd be like, yeah, you need some high octane shit for that.
I'll just glue 2 PS4s together, it'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. I think your computer might be able to run as effectively as 2 super glued PlayStation 4s.
Just wire all the hardware together, get double the processing power. That's how it works, right?
No, absolutely not. We don't have time to get into that.
So what do we have time for?
So, also that's an interesting game, and I'm gonna see how that works. How electronics and technology works. I think we should start by talking about the Black Phone, because both of us have seen it, and I watched it last night, and it is a real good horror movie, and everything builds effectively. Characters are intelligent. It's very hard not to like it. Very hard.
I knew you would love this movie.
Like every step of everything that happens makes sense, and what's actually the funniest thing to me is that if he'd never gone outside, and he would have just stayed down there until they, like, eventually just crossed the street and caught him, you know? It's very, very, very interesting. I think it's more like it could be like a connection to the Conjuring sort of thing, which would be really interesting. Which I think you talked about the last time that we spoke about the Black Phone, right?
Yeah, Conjuring was brought up, and these are the same people who wrote Sinister.
Ah, okay.
If that adds anything to it.
Ethan Hawke was fantastic. And it has this very how to phrase it effectively, like coming of age, but also like discovering yourself sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a real neat period piece, I guess, is where I'm sitting at. The little girl's dreams are a thing that probably should have been explained a little bit more in Ethan Hawke's deal, but leaving it unsaid doesn't actually end up detracting from the movie, which is nice. And I fucking watched Jurassic
I have to
World.
ask, what was your favorite scene?
Oh, my favorite scene in that?
Yes, favorite scene.
I love all of the stuff where I think Vance is kid number 4 that calls on the phone. Vance is my favorite fucking part of that.
Because he's just an asshole.
He's like, hey, do this, you dipshit. And he's just like, okay, but why? And be like, don't fucking ask questions. I'm not doing this for you. I want to fuck that guy over. Fuck that guy over. And Vance is spectacular. Vance is my favorite part.
I think the ending where you find out why the ghosts are saying what they're saying, specifically in the order they are saying it.
The callbacks, yes.
The callbacks. The twist of the movie.
It was fucking beautiful.
That was my favorite part, because it's just one of those, yeah. I could see a group of angry spirits being like that.
So, that was a highlight. And then I followed it up by fucking watching Jurassic World Dominion.
I'm sorry.
And that was a pile of hot garbage. Nothing in it was good. Nobody made any sense. No dinosaurs did anything that was intelligent or like dinosaur-like. Oh yeah, this the black phone is a lot more psychological. There are a couple jump scares, but it is not like a thing that they abuse.
I freely admit I jumped on the first one.
Really?
Yeah, the very first jump scare caught me flat-footed, and I jumped and screamed. And I was watching that with Ashley, and she screamed because I screamed. It was hilarious. Like, actually.
That's hysterical. No. I'm fairly well immune to that. I don't get scared. The best I get is, oh, okay, neat. This is happening.
I think it was Ghost. I think Ghost number 3 was the one that unnerved me the most.
Oh yeah, it is something to look at.
That is some. We went Silent Hill for a minute on that scene.
Oh yeah, it was that just added way more into it. It's just, God, I wish that I would have watched the Black Phone after, because it would have been a good way for me to end my night last night. Dude, why? Why did they even make Jurassic World 3?
Because monies.
It's not. Fuck. So bad. Dialogue is cringy as fuck. Characters are stupid. No one does anything that makes any sense. A dude, the bad guy's master plan is that he's gonna release a bunch of locusts that are Cretaceous era that are gonna eat all of the food supply for humanity except the ones that his company makes seeds for, so that he can maintain the entire food supply.
Did he go to the Monarch School of Villainy? Because, like, that's some Godzilla level shit right there.
It doesn't even work well. Like, who... They try to be like, we have to prove that it was these people. No, you don't! Who else out here fucking making big-ass dinosaur shit? Like...
We here at the Umbrella Corporation.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna follow through on... Blue Umbrella, or Neo Umbrella, or Netflix Umbrella. Yeah, Raccoon City happened, but we just don't talk about it.
And you're just kind of like, bruh, you would have been dissolved and absorbed.
Absolutely.
Speaking of vape juice.
Hey, buddy, did you get the milk and cigarettes?
No milk. I got the cigarettes, and then on top of that, I got stuff for this.
Oh my God, Caleb! I thought you were joking.
No. Oh, is Caleb in the chat? Hang on, I need to pull that shit up.
I really thought you were joking.
No. I literally went out today, and because I got this, I went to the local vape shop and I got 2 bottles of different vape flavors. Hang on, let me pull up the actual stream.
For fuck's sake, when somebody tells me that you went out for vape juice, it's like you were the kid's dad that went out for fucking milk and cigarettes and you aren't coming back. I'm like, oh, okay, alright, that's cool.
Sorry,
that sounds like such a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. I literally went out. I went out for vape juice. it got around 1:30. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up and do something because yesterday kicked my ass like you wouldn't believe. But no, I went to the vape shop and I'm like, okay, this is what I like. What can I get? And they're like, okay, why don't you try these? And honestly, they were actually pretty cheap. I got one that is called House Blend Cowboy, which is supposed to taste like normal cigarettes. And then I got one that is House Blend Butterscotch. So there we go. We're gonna try those later on.
You're gonna vape a hard candy?
No, the flavor, not the hard candy.
That
wouldn't make it. That would just be meth. Why no?
Meth isn't candy, sir.
That really depends on who you're talking to. Okay.
We are not on the set of Breaking Bad.
Refer to it as candy.
Meth could be candy. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm sorry. Have you never had what's it called glass candy?
Everybody, welcome Jim to the podcast.
They make a sheet and then they break it up and yeah, glass candy, right?
That is a way to do it, but generally how they do it is they make a sheet of it and they break it into a bunch of tiny pieces and then they spray some water on it and roll it on a stick. Rock candy. That's what you're looking for. Rock candy.
Rock candy. Yes. Yes. This is entirely different. And I even bought separate tanks so I can switch flavors if I'm feeling naughty. So, yeah, that's what today is going to be with me. What did I miss? I'm sorry for being late.
Oh,
everything. We already finished the podcast.
Yeah, we did everything in the last 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. What, 30?
Yeah.
How long have you been live? I was only 15 minutes late from the start time.
We start early on this podcast.
Yeah.
The fuck, guys?
Starting soon is a screen that I use.
You need to start CCing me on all the
start time is more
emails.
of a slider than a hard rule.
All right. What subjects did you cover?
Oh, we talked about the Black Phone and Jurassic World 3.
And Spooktober.
And some Spooktober coverage. And Nelso bought me a game.
He did?
Yes.
Wow.
It's called My Stepbro is a Femboy.
Hey, damn! I didn't realize we were doing this for Spooktober.
That is terrifying to some people.
We have not decided on a set schedule for Spooktober. I'm just saying
yeah, we did because you owe me a game.
I owe a lot of people a lot of games.
Yo,
right?
me first. I paid last year up front 4 months in advance, so technically 16 months in advance to watch you play Siren 3.
Siren Blood Curse.
Jesus. Tap dancing Christ. Also, Blake, you need to readjust the visual settings because I am looking wide as hell. And that's not just me and my body.
It's called squiggly vision.
Fuck off.
It looks fine to me.
No, not on the stream.
The vape juice adds 10 pounds.
The vape juice makes the squiggles.
No. That is not the case. On stream, like everything is stretched wider. Like you're starting with a 4x3 and you're trying to make it look 7x19.
That's not how that works.
I'm still stretched out. I'm just saying. You see in the actual
that's
stream?
Discord, bruh. That's not.
No, I'm looking at the actual stream.
So am I. And you look fine. You look the same as my Discord window.
Okay. No, you know what? I will record. You know what? Fuck it. I'll record some shit for you just to see. Come on, OBS. Just fucking work for once. Nope. Fucking work for once. Go. Here.
Yeah, that's not the aspect ratio coming from my stream. That's Twitch doing something to it.
Okay.
I can do nothing to this.
That's
Twitch.
Then why do my streams come out in the ratio that I put them in, and yours not?
Because this is being sent to a specific. I think it's trying to push it to 1280 by.
Well, the thing is that you actually like started adjusting the screen and look better. Do that again.
Aspect ratios are the same, baby.
No. I mean, okay, then if that's not on your end and it's only on Twitch's end, Twitch being kinda dumb. Yeah.
Hardly be the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
Dude, have you not looked at your previous streams? Like, that's how all of them look when we do our BatC-cast.
Hardly be the weirdest thing that happens.
Okay, fair point. But it's up there. I'll say that. Cowboy. All right. So what did I miss?
A lot. Actually, I'm not even saying that in sarcasm. Like, we really did talk a lot about Spooktober. Blake mentioned his opinion of Black Phone. He was ripping on the new Jurassic Park World, whatever movie.
I haven't even seen that.
He hasn't seen a lot of things.
Yeah. No. This son of a bitch. This is the same coil that you put in when I was with you. So yeah, no, it's fine. The new tanks, I'll have to put in a new coil, but I'll make it work. It's fine. So you guys didn't cover any of the stuff that we talked about during the last couple of episodes of the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we ready for?
Literally anything.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna bring the big one in. I'm gonna big. House of the Dragon.
Haven't seen it. Refuse to watch.
You refuse to watch.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I know it's not going to be entertaining for me.
Mid.
What, Blake?
Oh my god, I hit the ceiling. Sorry, I'm playing a game while I'm...
Mid.
Blake said it was mid.
Oh, mid. I actually think it's pretty goddamn good.
Remind me again how you feel about Solo.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Hold the fuck up.
No, explain to me how House of the Dragon is different from Solo.
Because it's a story we've never heard.
Actually, it's a very, very well-known story because they talk about it a lot in Game of Thrones.
It's new to me.
Did you not watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, I
Then
did.
it's not new to you. Sorry to break You burst your bubble on that part.
Okay, then we go with the nuances. What did each actual figure in that story go through when it led up to the insane twins being born? Okay, I really enjoy the show.
Oh no, you're allowed to enjoy it, but like again, you have to look at it through the same lens of this is a thing that everybody already knows how it ends. So like, why do you like it? Because that's the same. I heard this shit when we talked about Star Wars a billion times from like 8 different people. I get to shit on Game of Thrones now.
Well, okay, let's be fair. Trying to write a prequel story is going to be hard as balls unless you have a framework ahead of it. And the real problem is you got to fill in the details. You've got all the bullet points for the lead up to the start of the original show. Trying to fill in those gaps is a hell of a challenge. I think they're doing pretty good. At least I'm enjoying the show. Let me put it that way. I am enjoying it. I think it's kind of back to original Game of Thrones style storytelling. That's me. I take it you guys don't like it at all?
I have zero emotional investment in the confines of this story.
I have watched
I didn't even bother to watch the pilot.
I've watched 2 of the 3 episodes, and I also am not really feeling heavily invested in it.
Okay.
The only character that I like is Rhaenyra, and the enjoyment of that character is immediately shit on by the fact that I know she and her uncle are gonna fuck.
Yeah, that was kind of foreshadowed. Yeah.
Oh, good old-fashioned Targaryen incest. Am I right, people?
No, that's actually like a staple of the family, and kind of saw that coming, especially when like the exchange on like what was it, episode 2, I believe, where she flies in on the dragon and
that's
stops.
the second.
Yeah. Like it was like, oh, these 2 are giving the fuck me eyes to each other, and it's just like, okay. But Rhaenyra is my favorite character in the entire show.
I can put some respect in on her dad, a little bit. Yeah. So can I. He's actually trying to like keep things peaceful, but nobody else agrees with him, and he's a doormat.
Yeah. Like, he's bringing up great points in his arguments, but like everyone else is like, no, you're fucking wrong, you idiot. What the fuck are you thinking?
We don't use logic and reason.
No, perspective. Nah. He is the king, and he can do whatever he wants. But the logical thing to do to keep the peace the best way is to marry a 12-year-old girl.
14, I believe.
Oh no, she's 12. She won't have to fuck him until she's 14.
Oh, the other one. I thought you were talking about the actual proposal later on. No, that was okay, I will give you that. When that happened, I'm like,
he's trying to be like, okay, you guys are you're not legitimately telling me that I should marry a child.
No,
and then everybody else is like, yeah, you should do that. And he's like, this is fucking insane. You're fucking insane.
That was probably one of the most awkward moments I've ever seen in a TV show. When they were walking through the garden.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my god. Like they're talking about like, well, she's so young, and I'm thinking in my head like 16, something like that.
She's 12.
Yeah, she's fucking 12.
Oh, classic Targaryen incest. Am I right, folks?
No, it's not incest. It's from a completely different family.
They're like third cousins.
You're not understanding the joke here, Jim.
Well, apparently there's a lot of shit I don't understand compared to Friday. So let's move on. But yeah, that whole garden walking scene, I'm like, oh my fucking god. I did not think you were going to bring in a toddler when you were talking about marrying into a new family.
This is why I like. This is where the respect that I have came to the king, because she gives him this line about how like it would be good for the realm and we could unite our two houses forever in blood. And he's like,
right?
Did your dad tell you to say that? And she goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, what did your mom tell you to say? That I wouldn't have to have sex with you until I was 14.
No, I was 14.
And then he's just like, you can feel his soul leave his body with, he's like, oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Why?
What? And right there, that's kind of part of why I like this show, is because it's a little bit more aware. I won't say self-aware.
It pokes a lot of holes in actual Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah, it does. It does. I will absolutely agree with you on that. But at the same time, like, that was the lifestyle, but at the same time, no, that was the lifestyle for them.
I'm
but
aware.
At the same, what?
Just the way that you said it. It's the lifestyle.
Yeah, no, I mean, I absolutely don't agree with it. Like, the incest part, absolutely. Well, actually, it doesn't really apply because it's two different families. But at the same time, like, the build-up to the actual reveal, I thought, okay, it's gonna be some older girl and they're gonna just bring her in randomly. Well, I was right. Halfway, they brought her in randomly, and I.
No, Rhaenyra, it's your best friend.
Yeah. Oh my god, we'll build up to that. But like the first opening shot in the garden with that little kid in the garden with that little kid who's literally 4 feet shorter than the king. Just walking around like, ooh, pretty flower. And
we should unite our two houses together in the bond of marriage.
It didn't even strike me right off the top. I thought it was like, oh, he's talking to one of the other handmaidens or friends of the princess, and just having a walk. No, motherfucker, you dumb idiot. No, this is the bride to be. I'm like, oh god, okay.
And you wonder why he's like, no, I'm not cool with this.
Yeah.
People are...
Literally every other dude is like, no, it's cool and you should, because it will make everything better for everyone.
Yeah. Like, I understand the logic with their arguments. Do not agree with it in any way, shape, or form. I understand.
Oh my god, just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right. Lol.
Yeah. Right. That does kind of boil it down a bit.
Get on the fucking dragon, Shinji.
Fuck the dragon. He does, though. That's the thing. Spoiler alerts if you haven't played the visual novel, but you can, in fact, ride the dragon as Shiro. That is a thing. Don't ask questions. Just consume product and get excited for next product.
Okay. What am I missing in the chat here? Hang on.
Oh no, nothing. It's Nelso also doesn't like it. The king is a cuck and no one likes him. And the sequence in the garden was awkward and he didn't like it.
Oh, so he.
I believe that it was supposed to be awkward.
Yes,
it is. But
like
I guarantee it is supposed to be a complete and utter cringe fest.
I don't know if it was meant to be a cringe fest. I think it just ended up being that way.
Like,
if I'm writing a scene like that, I'm making it cringy on purpose. I want my audience uncomfortable.
Oh, good. Thank you.
At best, I'm gonna give it one more episode, and if it does not have anything that hooks me, I'm done. So far, like, my only thing here is that Rhaenyra is a good character, and that's not enough to go off of. It would be like watching The Office, but all of the other characters except for Michael Scott are terrible.
Wait. God, we're gonna go through another Friday night here. Okay. Backing up the truck. As far as character writing, the Hand of the King. Now, see, okay, here's a big problem I do have with the show. I do not know most of the characters' names.
Hightower.
Hightower?
Hightower.
Okay. Hightower. I call the brother Matt Smith or Doctor Who.
His name is Damon.
Yeah.
Easily pronounceable name, and you can't remember it.
Yeah, even if I knew his name, I would still call him Doctor Who.
Hightower's first name is Otto, and that would be legitimately the easiest one to remember.
Otto Hightower.
Otto Hightower.
Is that
Otto
a reference?
Hightower gonna build us additional pylons too while he's at it?
I don't get the reference. Fuck.
No, Otto is literally a 3-letter name. And two of them are the same letter. It would just be like, wow, it's really hard. It's actively very hard to not know this dude's name. It's fine that you don't, because again, Game of Thrones, there are a bunch of people that didn't know who the fuck Peter Baelish was for a long time.
Oh my god, that.
He should have won the throne.
So wait,
He
sorry.
was the homie.
Wait, say that again, Snipe, because you were breaking up real hard.
I was totally on Team Baelish throughout the whole show.
I mean, I would have been on Team Baelish before he was trying to, like, fuck Sansa.
Yeah, I am definitely not part of...
Don't get it twisted. I was totally invested in his story because I knew he was gonna fail. But like,
invested in his story is one thing.
Being on his team is
yeah,
different.
no, completely different. Yeah, you got to pick your words better, sir.
No, like I was like, I want you for the Iron Throne. Like, just because you're gonna get it for 2 minutes and then get stabbed, and I'm here to watch this. Like he was literally my favorite character in the show.
That actually would have been a better ending for the entire show. At least season 7. That would have been a hell of an ending.
We don't talk about Bran. No.
Nope.
When God has to cuck you from your plans, you know you're too good for the show you're in.
Anyway,
Bran the Broken. Jesus.
Getting us back onto... So, like, House of the Dragon is a show. That's the best that I can say of it. It's got a huge budget. It has better writing than the later seasons of Game of Thrones does. Not like that's hard. The dragon models are not all the same, which is nice.
Yeah. That was something I was going to bring up. Daemon's dragon, the way it's designed, like, so unusual. It's something I've never seen before. And I'm like...
Ripped straight out of How to Train Your Dragon.
Is it?
They're not dragons. They're wyverns.
Yeah, but in the context of Game of Thrones, they don't give a shit.
They're still dragon. Come on.
No.
So, I had to point this out. It's the funniest fucking thing to me. So, they give you a date in the first episode, and they say it's 174 years before the start of Game of Thrones.
Right.
And 174 years pass, and they already disbelieve... They don't believe that dragons are real anymore. Yeah. Magic isn't a thing that exists. Targaryen blood has nothing special about it. It's like, at the bare fucking minimum, somebody in House Baratheon, probably not Robert, I'm gonna be honest with you, would have known something.
Oh, you mean at the time of the first show?
Because I just remember the Macers being like, "Oh yeah, these bones aren't real," and be like, "How the fuck can you say that? We have detailed drawings of dragons."
It does fuck with the canon of the first show, but yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Like 170 years, like okay, the small stories, yeah, sure, could have been myth, but fucking dragons? No, there's no fucking way. No. And you got fucking bones to prove it.
The part that really put the icing on the cake for that, though, was the king is given a speech to. He's just named his daughter his heir because his brother pissed him off royally.
What? His brother was a fucking dickhead and was trying to.
He called
basically.
The king had a son, and then he was throwing a celebration and like honor of remembrance amongst his men for the baby, and he gave the baby the name Heir for one day.
It was okay. Let's be fair. Damon, in that moment during that celebration, that was a dick move.
He is a dick, so it's not surprising.
It's not surprising. Which, by the way, Matt Smith, if you ever see this, hell of a performance so far. Seriously, I am genuinely impressed as to how well you portray an asshole.
But so the king has his daughter in a chamber with him alone. They're in front of the big ass dragon head, by the way, the same dragon head from Game of Thrones that they think is fake.
Yeah.
And he tells her, okay, so King Aegon, the first Targaryen that came over here and did all the crazy shit, he had a prophetic dream, which we only pass down from the king to the heir, wherein some point in the future, a terror will emerge from the frozen north, and at that time, a Targaryen must sit on the throne. He called his dream a song of ice and fire. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! You guys!
Yeah, we didn't have to do that.
Why did we? Why is this necessary? We know this is a Game of Thrones prequel. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that one. Yeah, that was... Yeah.
That was a little much.
Yeah, that's a light way of putting it. It was a bit much.
So yeah, if I'm looking at it from a real writing perspective, it's very heavy-handed. It's very pushing certain things forward when it maybe doesn't need to, because part of the things that made early Game of Thrones work is that they didn't try to force confrontations to happen. They either happen organically, or it is a thing that they avoid for enough time until something comes to a head, and then something happens.
Yeah.
And this show is very much not that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
I hate it when that happens.
I still like it a lot. The writing is so much better though than what we left off with the original series, and maybe that's part of why I like this new show so much, is because it's like going back to basic. And I think what you said previous was like it's just all the build up in the first episode. Like, yeah, I get it, but the in-between stuff, that's what I liked about early Game of Thrones. And we're kind of going back to it, and I enjoy that. So
it just feels like it's not gonna last is the problem. Because if they get through a whole season without anything coming to a head, and then there's a climactic ending that makes sense, cool.
Wait. No,
it's the little bubbles of stuff instead of people outright running into each other and ramming dragon or shield or sword against one another, because that's what made later Game of Thrones not good, is it was constantly people beating the shit out of each other, no plot.
Yeah. All right, I can see that.
It needs to mean. Go ahead.
But when you say like bringing it to a head, are you talking like the old style of the original Game of Thrones series, where the climax was episode 9 and episode 10 was the thrill off?
It was the falling action.
Thank you. Like saying that same style, like episode 9 is gonna be like the peak of the season, and then episode 10, like, are you thinking that they're going to go with that same style with this series?
I don't think that's going to happen, because they're going to be too busy trying. The end of the second episode, keeping in mind I haven't watched the third one, already feels to me like Lord Corliss, who is the black guy that sits
Right.
on the council, in case people don't know that, is already trying to be like, I am trying to force the king and his brother to fight. And I want that. And that is the thing. I'm like, that's not... No. The way that your character was set up is you're a subtle manipulator, dude. You are this era's Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, and it really makes it seem like, no, you're just a dude that says stuff and then things happen, and that's not the same.
Well, okay, that's the thing. You only seen the first 2 episodes, right?
I said I'm only gonna watch the 3rd one, and if I'm not hooked, I'm done.
Okay, so the 3rd episode is already out. Spoilers. Wait. Hang on. I'm getting my episodes mixed up. Hang on. No, that was at the end of episode 2. Fuck. The black guy. Corliss. Thank you. He makes a deal with Damon at the end of episode 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. From his position with the arguments he's made before, it does make sense for him to do that deal. None of us agree with it, and when I saw it pop up, I'm like, no, don't do it, you motherfucker. You're loyal to the king. But his biggest concern was protecting his land, the Stepstones. It makes sense. I don't agree with it in any way, shape, or form, but
it just ends up lending the thing to, I am trying to make there be a fight between these two people, and I'm not even trying to be subtle about it.
Yeah.
That's what's missing here. Is these are supposed to be like the intelligent people, because, you know, like Game of Thrones kicks off with people start having plans, and then everybody's plans are either eclipsed by somebody else's plan being better than theirs, or by somebody subtly manipulating their plan into becoming their plan.
Yeah.
Like, these are the betrayals in this old time are supposed to be so good that history remembers them not as betrayals, but as just.
Right. I will give you that. You know what? How about this? The show has a lot of flaws, but it's reminding me of the beginning of Game of Thrones when it was still good. So I'm still enjoying it. I've watched everything has been released so far. I'm going to be watching episode 4 tonight when it comes out, or tomorrow, depending on how tired I am. But I think that the way the characters are written, I will give you this. It is a throwback, or better term, reference. Let's go with reference. It's a reference to early Game of Thrones. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because the early seasons of Game of Thrones was fucking awesome. Will the show last? I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this show as like a one-off kind of deal, like 10 episodes just to fill in some backstory. I'm like, okay, cool, fine, let's roll with it. Will it get a second season?
Depends on how much money it makes HBO.
Yeah, I don't know. The pessimistic side of me says no, probably not, because the rate they're going with each episode, because you haven't seen episode 3 yet.
No.
The way they're going with the story, it's like they're rushing so fucking hard.
Yeah.
it's looking like they're gonna end this story at the end of the season.
They probably blew all their budget on dragons.
It's
the
fair.
CGI. I mean, yeah, probably could be.
There's like what, 7 or 8 of those motherfuckers in there?
We've seen 3 so far.
Yeah, 3. See, Rhaenyra's, Daemon's, and
You briefly see her dad's.
oh, okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so you've seen 3 for the CGI. Not to mention the blood splatter, which, you know, there's that. But do I see this getting a second season? Probably not. Do I see it having an impact for viewers? Yeah, to a point, I actually do. I think the story is going to trill up, especially with episode 3, because that one really does bring Rhaenyra in as more of a power player. At least the way that they are shaping the story. Like, episode 3 is about to say season 3. Jesus.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3. We'll wait until then. No, episode 3. There's a couple of moments where it basically portrays Rhaenyra as like not a force to be fucked with. Pun. Yeah.
She's gonna get fucked.
Yeah, she's gonna get fucked. But even my mom, we talk about the episodes after they air, and she was like, dude, Matt Damon and Rhaenyra, they're
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's in this new show?
Matt Damon.
I was gonna watch it if Matt Damon was in it, but never mind. No, shit.
This shit is a lot stronger than what I thought it was. Hang on.
This vape juice ain't shit 5 minutes later. Crossing the Baltic.
Yeah. Matt Smith. Sorry. Yeah, no, she was even like, those two are gonna get together. I'm like, yeah.
What gave it away? Was it the fuck me eyes?
It was the fuck me eyes. Yeah. Probably. Maybe. But, yeah. You know what? If they go one season and if they can end on a high point, cool.
They should end it there. They should stop and not make more.
Yes. Just
take the money and run.
Yes.
Like, well, I don't. Yeah, no, that's fair. But like really just make it like a one-off story. Don't drag it out. I mean, you kind of had to with Game of Thrones, and then people started fucking it up. But
they have a really cool animated version of when the first Targaryen comes over and like the making of the Iron Throne and all that shit. That's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you have to get the DVD for it, which we can't do anymore because, you know, movie stores aren't a thing.
Nobody uses DVD. Oh my god. Okay. That's okay. This is not a topic I brought up before, but this is just something that happened last night, so I gotta tell you guys about it. So I finally saw Eternal. Okay. And because of what I talked with you, Blake, about earlier about how the audio is so low, I put on the subtitle. Okay. So you guys have seen the movie, right? Okay. So, Kingo. This is like the first 2 fucking minutes of the film, so no spoiler alerts if you even give a shit. But it's the first battle sequence of the entire movie. The deviant comes up from the water and they're all fighting, and Kingo is doing his
finger guns.
Finger banging. Yes, he's doing his finger banging. And Bukaki?
No.
Oh my god.
But Bakaki.
No. Not allowed.
The black
Fix
girl.
it. The deaf girl, yes.
Yes, we'll go with the deaf girl. Okay. So, I'm watching the show, and Kingo signs to the deaf girl, good shot or good hit, something along those lines. He's clearly signing it, and in the actual movie, they have the subtitles up. Well, the Disney Plus subtitles are going on below. You want to guess what the subtitles say when that happens?
Signs poorly.
No. In sign language.
It's not actually the first time I've seen that, so
Are you serious?
Yeah, same.
I
have seen that before.
Oh my god, I laughed my ass off when I saw that. I'm like, well, yeah, clearly it's in
Remind me
sign
to
language.
tell. There's a YouTube video I need to show you, Jim, called "The History of Fan Subs." Let me tell you.
Please
You aren't
do.
ready for that.
You go right on ahead, sir. But I laughed my ass off when I saw that. I'm like, well, yeah, clearly it's in sign language, you fucking morons. Why would you need to put that in the extra subtitles? Like, I can see that it's in sign language because he's fucking signing. And it happens throughout the rest of the movie. Which,
And?
by the way, it was okay. Wasn't great.
That's all I felt about it. I thought it was like, this could have been worse.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I do like the variety of powers that they all had, and that they were a team beforehand. It didn't have the whole, build-up thing. It did make me question Cersei. Okay, you can literally change matter at will to whatever you want. If you knew the new Celestial was going to be born out of the planet, why don't you just, Full Metal Alchemist and just, go bore straight down, kill the Celestial before it's born, and then ride back up. You can literally control matter. Why is this such a big deal?
Can't control matter on that level yet.
Yet.
She does gain the ability to do that.
Yeah, I know, because of the Unimind?
Unibeam.
No. Yeah. Unimind. Because they were all mentally connected. That's what they called it, Unimind. Which is such a stupid fucking name. But I'm getting to the end of it, the end of the movie, and the Celestial starts popping up, and I'm like, wait, Cersei can change matter at will. Just jump over and change him into sand or something. I mean,
I gotta turn him into a big rock. That's what I can do.
You gotta turn him into a giant fucking statue. Like it makes no fucking sense.
No, again, this is where
And statue is aesthetically pleasing.
this is where the fallout of Phase 4 hits again. Is where you're like, okay, so literally the entire world feels like it's quaking apart. Where the fuck are the Avengers?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, hell, fucking Jon Snow brings it up about, like, the Avengers. Which, by the way, oh, fuck, now that I'm reminded about that, that little moment between Jon Snow and Robb Stark, when they meet for the first time around Cersei, I'm like, okay, fuck you, dudes. No, we get it. We are aware.
Are we? Are we really? It's been a minute.
Yeah. I'm like,
Painful.
really?
It was painful.
It was painful. It was fucking painful. But I'm looking at the moment, and it's just kind of like, guys, we know they worked together before. couldn't you have made a better moment for these two
No.
to meet up? No, like, you know what? If there had been like a fight scene where Dane, like, okay, let's not call him Dane. Let's call him Starfighter. Okay? if he was a different character that was like involved with the battle and like maybe had the same, not quite the same power level as Icarus, like if they, you know, met up, like that would have been a better reference to Game of Thrones than what they did in this show, because this was fucking blatant. I mean, just like slap you in the face with my dick blatant. Okay?
Agreed.
Yeah. It was so fucking blatant. The overall show,
Making a blatant overall dick slapping.
God, here we go.
Who's excited to watch Amazon lose a bunch of money doing Rings of Power?
I haven't even watched a single episode.
I have watched 2 of the 3 available episodes.
Oh God.
It's as bad as
Yeah.
So, first of
you know
all,
it's going to be.
Slap me in the face.
First of all, we need to preface it with people are mad because not all the characters are white, and that is the dumbest fucking reason to be angry at this show.
Oh no, that is entirely fucking stupid, and I'm here for it being fucking stupid.
The fact
It's the
that
same people who are bitching about the new Little Mermaid trailer.
The fact that we need to have the actors from the Lord of the Rings movies come forth and be like, why do you give a shit? Having black and brown people in this is good. Because I had the argument, like, the furthest you can go if you're thinking about it as like a logical world, not just a fantasy world, which if you apply the it's a fantasy world logic to it, no one should give a shit at all, first thing.
Yeah.
Second, the only skin tone that would make no sense in Middle Earth would be Asian.
And even then, you
Yeah,
could make an
no,
argument
he's right.
that the Eastlings would be Asian.
Exactly. So, starting at the point again of it's a fantasy world. Why the fuck do you care?
Well, it goes beyond that. When he wrote that, when Tolkien wrote that, he was dealing with a land that basically didn't have a shit ton of black people.
Well, even
Okay.
then, since like in nobody's skin tone is ever mentioned in that story.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's true. I'm not saying that's a factor. I'm just saying when he wrote it, he had to have written it with what was around him, right?
Theoretically.
He wrote that in response to his experiences in World War One.
Exactly.
So,
And
wouldn't it be?
Which means he saw different groups of people, but that's hearsay, and I'm not here to argue that fact. But everything
What?
we are talking about is 100% how this works. The man is writing a story based on the country in which he lives in.
Yep.
He's going to write it based on his experiences.
Wouldn't it
What
absolutely
makes
take
this
the piss out of all of them if Gondor was made up entirely of black people?
well, that
That would be fucking hysterical. It would take it all out of all these bitch ass people. Be like, see, look, Viggo Mortensen wasn't, to be like, but Tolkien said that Aragorn's black.
yeah, no, that argument has already been brought up. It's already
It's
been
in the Chocolate Factory Harry Potter argument all over again.
Yes, it is.
say that again. I didn't hear
So
you.
here, Jim, you might not know was a thing, but in the original book for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie was black.
Okay.
They
What? in the-
changed. He was told to change it so he would sell more copies of his book. But his original intention was to make Charlie black.
It really would have spoken to the fact that there was a lot of low-income black people that lived
Yeah.
in the area at
Well,
the time.
It would have meshed better with the overall story of the show or the book, but
They had him.
yeah.
Another thing is
well,
in Harry Potter's original draft, Hermione was also black. but she just decided to change it just because.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made a big difference, though. I mean...
No, but if you look at it from a cultural context, then she is somebody that came from not having magic, and she absorbs knowledge, and she would become the stereotype of, like, a successful black woman, because that's what she would be then. Because she is incredibly successful.
It was just to not deal with a lot of BS. These characters were changed. That's all it ultimately amounts to.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, me being kind of a novice when it comes to the knowledge of the guys of the things that you are talking about, like, if a character was black, wouldn't really make a big difference. In fact, with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it would make more sense with the upbringing that he was getting out of. Like, by, social standards, if that's what we're basing all of this on. Like, just... who gives a shit about skin color besides fucking racists and Nazis?
Weird people.
Yeah.
People are weird. Just...
The only time that skin color has actually been an issue in media would be with The Dark Tower, which I've mentioned this before, I know, but that's the only time that it actually wouldn't make a difference depending on the source material, because there's literally a plot point in the books that is dependent on Roland, main character played by Idris Elba in the movie, where it's dependent on him being a white dude. That's the only fucking bullshit problem with...
And that's the only point that happens in, right?
No, there's a lot of other bad points in
but
that
like...
movie. But...
The movie was just not as good as it could have been, but like what Jim is saying is it's literally a weird screwball plot point related thing that may or may not have been in the original novel was the only time we can arguably say this is a thing. So you have to reach so far. You're like... Nope.
It was not a screwball point. It was literally... The racism of a black character hating Roland, the white character, was literally a plot point in one of the books. It was integral. It was driving her to do all the actions she took in the rest of the book. God. Yeah.
That makes it even make more sense now.
Because it's deliberate. That's a thing that is required. It is a plot point.
Right, but
in Lord of the Rings, that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about, like, there was the argument of orcs being what was it, black-coated?
Black-faced.
Like, black-faced, black-coated. Yeah, I've heard it, like, both ways. Like,
do they not know where orcs come from?
Yeah, exactly. Orcs are corrupted
Tolkien
versions.
doesn't even know where orcs come from.
But no, Tolkien does.
No, like, that's a huge thing in the books that, like, he never actually explains, like,
he
properly
does.
the origins of
Uruk-hai are corrupted elves.
The actual orc race, he never gets around to... He doesn't survive long enough, or live long enough to explain where they actually... Like, their whole society and where they come from.
Yeah, he does. He did it in the Silmarillion.
That was his son.
Part of it was Christopher. Part of it was.
Fair enough. But there is lore to explain orcs in the Lord of the Rings universe. And they are corrupted elves and humans.
That was the Uruk-hai.
It was the orcs too.
No, orcs are now in canon like a creation of the Dark One, or Morgantha.
According to the
Silmarillion.
Yes.
So the light made races, made mortals.
Right,
And
then
Morgantha, when he took the Silmarils, and they were partially corrupted and ruined everything. That is what brought orcs into being.
okay, but hang on. Okay, for the record, I can't find my mouse. I have two white screens going on.
Oh God!
Nope. There we go. I'm trying to. Nope. I got rid of the stream apparently.
Okay. Anyway.
No, sorry.
We should get on to the topic of the Rings of Power anyway, because we're just gonna.
Because we're talking about good Tolkien lore, and it's about time we talk about what happens when stupid people get access to like good material.
I haven't seen it,
so you're good. I'm honestly telling you, so far you have not missed anything of note.
Well, that's the start. Okay. Hang on. I'm trying to bring up mod view.
You're good. Take your time. So I'll just leap into it. So this leads off in a very weird way, because when I thought they were going to be adapting a thing for the Rings of Power, they were going to start with how all the Silmarils happened and why the elves went to war to begin with, and they just sort of skirt over that and end up at the point after they have won, which is this is clear, like getting to the end point of the Second Age type bullshit.
Yeah, we've defeated Malak, right?
Yes.
Okay, question.
They actually don't even fucking mention Malak, which fucking pissed me off. They don't talk about him at all.
You don't talk about Bruno?
No, they talk about the actual Dark Lord, you know, the real devil character that exists before Sauron, that is Sauron's boss.
Yeah, Malak.
No, that's two different characters. You have the actual devil. Malak is his second in command. Sauron is the one that actually leads to the downfall of magic in Middle Earth, which is only relevant in the Silmarillion. Only. Nowhere else.
Yeah, but I thought Malak was the one who destroyed the Sun and Moon trees. That was his thing.
No, Malak.
I thought he was the one who did that.
No, that is a separate character. That is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes,
because we're talking about Feanor and. Oh, we need a pause. Yes. Yeah. We're talking about the Rings of Power.
Yes, we are. Yep. Sorry. Flag on the play. If it works for the other show, it's got to work for this one. Sorry. I actually haven't been keeping up with the chat. I needed to take a look. Apparently there's been a lot of stuff. Why does Jim call everything show? Book, show, movie, show? That's because I'm an idiot. Answers that question. Alright, I think we're good up until now. Alright, awesome.
So this show ends up being weird because it references stuff that happened that was the end of the First Age into the Second Age.
Right.
Because they talk about the Silmarils. And they talk about the corruption of the Silmarils, and they talk about Feanor. And the first time that somebody said Feanor's name, I'm like contractually obligated anytime that somebody says Feanor, I go, that fuckhead. So we skipped over a lot of important lore here because Feanor is the first elf king ever. He did not leave the Grey Havens. He did fuck around with a bunch of like primordial magic shit, and Galadriel was somebody that he pined after. He is the reference in Lord of the Rings when they visit Galadriel for the first time in the Mirkwood, as they're passing through in the Fellowship of the Ring. She gives everybody a boon, and Gimli does not have anything that he wants because he doesn't know anything about elven customs. So he says, "You're beautiful. Might I just have one lock of your hair?" Which isn't it. She gives him 3 instead.
Yeah.
Because Feanor asks Galadriel 3 times if he can have a lock of her hair, and she says no every time.
Those of you who don't get the reference, to do that, to ask for a lock of a hair from a woman, it's like a love-related thing, just to clarify.
Yes, she was very much not into him. She did not... Feanor is a bad dude.
He eats his sandwiches one ingredient at a time, if that tells you anything about him.
Feanor is responsible for the entirety of every fuck-up that has ever been put on Middle-earth, if you want to think about it that way.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He is not Steve the intern.
So then they like make references to this stuff, but they don't do anything about it. And Galadriel is not like a high council, powerful warrior magic queen, because she is like a mage knight type character. She is just an elf girl who is obsessed with killing Sauron. And Sauron should not be our number one problem, because we drove the Lord of Darkness out of Middle-earth. We killed his second in command. And Sauron is the only one that is still left on the mortal plane. This is in an era before wizards, before, like...
Valar and all that other jazz.
There's only the elves that can practice magic, and there's the dwarves that are insanely good craftsmen, and then there are men who just exist, because that's kind of how they work in Middle-earth. There's the precursor to the hobbits, who haven't evolved into hobbits yet, because that is an origin story that I think they're trying to play through here, and it fits really weird.
Okay.
So Galadriel is just obsessed with killing Sauron, to the point where her elf king says, "You did real good. You have driven the evil away. I'm sending you to literal heaven." That's that. When they get on a boat and sail to the Grey Havens, that is going back to heaven. That is that's dying.
Yeah.
And she's so obsessed that she gets on the boat, she gets to where the clouds part and they're about to enter the Grey Havens, and she jumps off the boat. Because she needs to kill him. Which again, canonically, historically, from what we know from the lore, not how Galadriel works. Not what she does.
The exact opposite of what she does, actually.
She is actually integral in the second fuck-up of all of Middle-earth, which is she supports Sauron masquerading as Celebrimbor, who makes the rings, and leads to all the bullshit to begin with. Entering into the Third Age.
Okay.
We've met Celebrimbor, and he's already talking to Elrond, because Elrond is also a character in this, because reasons.
Did they bring back the original actor?
No.
This is young Elrond.
This is...
As weird as that is to say.
So, the Second Age, I believe, is like 800 to 1200 years of time.
Fuck.
And then in the Third Age...
It should be the same actor then.
No, he is actually young. He is a young elf.
How young are we talking?
Like, within his first few centuries. They age really slow, and they do a bunch of bullshit. If you want Agent Smith to come back, then you really need to take that up with Amazon.
I do want Agent Smith to come back. I'm like... If I were to watch this show, it'd be like, you're not Elrond. Who are you? Fuck off. No, I'm done. No.
So, they have Feanor's hammer, which is the thing that he used to make the Silmarils, which, we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
But this is the magic hammer that Celebrimbor uses to make the Rings of Power. Which is actually Sauron, we know, but it's not cohesive so far because all of these story points feel disparate and like unattached and hard to make sense of, because like if you want to do a story about the forging of the rings, then you shouldn't have a subplot about Galadriel trying to murder Sauron, because that makes your major A plot about Galadriel, and
Wow.
to be quite honest, we don't care. Galadriel historically does not achieve a large amount of things in Middle-earth. Like many elves, she just sort of lives there. Elrond, I could get behind because he is a character that is integral to many plots that drive the rising of the Third Age. It's just... Keeping in mind I've only seen 2 episodes, we're setting up like a weird semi-Gondor King plotline. We have Galadriel's weird plotline about needing to murder the enemy, which would make sense if it was somebody that wasn't Galadriel, but here we are. We have Elrond working with Celebrimbor to make the Rings of Power.
Okay.
It's just a lot going on.
Before I tell you that the director purposely ignored all previous context of the story and said, "Fuck you, we're doing our own thing."
I mean, it would be likely. Amazon does that pretty regularly with their stuff, as does Netflix. We've talked about that a great deal.
Yep.
It feels... It's not... From a cinematography standpoint, it's good. It looks good. It's clean. The action sequences are nice. The writing isn't bad. It's just there's stuff that doesn't line up right, and I'm not sure if you're going to write your ass back out of it in a later episode somehow and retcon some stuff, or if you're just making weird shit.
Other companies have tried it beforehand, and like maybe it kind of worked, or at least they gave like an example of an attempt. You know, like, okay.
When I heard they were doing this, it felt like it was going to be hard if they didn't start at the beginning. And they very clearly didn't.
Yeah.
I actually thought that I would get to watch a series where I'd see Feanor fuck everything up. I would have probably enjoyed that. Watching Feanor be a piece of shit would actually be pretty enjoyable to watch. But then that is deep lore, and casual audiences. Nope, absolutely not. Can't do that. They can't handle it. Too much bullshit. It's a fantasy world, man. Fantasy world with a lot of deep lore in it.
Yeah.
You either do it like Wheel of Time actually did a better job of being true to the source material than this has been so far.
So you pick Wheel of Time over Rings of Power?
Yeah, which is even weirder because they're both Amazon originals.
Right. Well,
It's almost like the good writers were on Wheel of Time.
Say that one more time, you kind of broke up there.
So it's almost like the writers of Wheel of Time actually liked what they were working on.
Oh.
Look, I
always feel like that is secretly a thing. Like some writers, you can tell when a writer is like into their project as opposed to just being there for the paycheck.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I have to be honest with people. The Silmarillion is a very divisive piece of Tolkien media. You either really like it, or it is the worst thing that has ever been introduced into the Lord of the Rings mythos. Middle ground is very, very rare there.
It's a very dry read.
Dry, yes.
Okay, that's a turnoff for a lot of people.
Just to be frank,
Yeah.
I hate the Silmarillion.
Well, most people do, just because it's so dense to get into. Like, there's a lot of shit to unpack in the Silmarillion. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But the Rings of Power, like the storyline that they're aiming for, was that part of the Silmarillion?
You mean Galadriel having a murder spree? No.
Okay. See, so is this like an original story, or is
Yes,
it like
this is them being like, okay, this takes place in the Second Age, and that's all we're borrowing from the Silmarillion. Everything else we're doing custom. If you wanted Silmarillion plot points, fuck you. Was literally what the director
Celebrimbor
said.
is a Silmarillion thing. Celebrimbor, the ringmaker.
okay?
He is in no way, shape, or form attached to any other. He's not in The Hobbit. He's not in The Lord of the Rings. He's only relevant in the Silmarillion, and he's made important in legacy materials of Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
But that's strictly speaking canon adjacent. So,
I never finished that game.
Celebrimbor is the ghost dude that is possessing you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's his
And
name?
you later found out was Sauron.
Actually, he wasn't Sauron. Sauron kidnapped him, put him in a tower in Mordor, what eventually becomes Mordor, masqueraded as him, made the Rings of Power. Celebrimbor escaped, and then Sauron killed him.
Okay. All right.
I thought you'd read the Silmarillion, Chip.
I glanced over
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like saying somebody has read the entirety of Dune. Like, people have, but most people are like, damn, this is hard to get through.
I did not get to God Emperor, so
How many books are there in Dune?
9, I think. 9 to 12.
there are also the Chapter House series, which is still coming out, I believe.
A lot.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
It's just still good. Just throwing it out there.
It just can be hard to get through.
It can. Full disclosure. I wouldn't recommend the Fellowship of the Ring to everybody either.
Yeah.
All of it. All old school like sci-fi and fantasy is just hard to get through in general. That is a very particular writing style those guys did back in the day,
Yeah.
and like getting through that is hard.
It can be if you don't have the right mindset.
Because like I was audiobooking Dune, and even there were points where I'm just like, get on with it.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So, like, what we really have going on here, moving off of, like, explaining what has been happening thus far, Amazon and HBO are trying to have a knockout drag-out between each other.
Yeah.
And they thought that Lord of the Rings would be a really easy thing to pull people away from Game of Thrones. But the problem being that Lord of the Rings is complicated, and at its core, Game of Thrones has complexity, but is simple. It is about who is in charge of things and how they get things done.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is not that at all. It is vastly, vastly complex with a bunch of built-in lore bits and stories that are interwoven but sometimes not actually completely connected to one another, and has Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't know if Bezos was the one that made this call. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do with it. You should have released it at a different time. These should not be shows that are fighting for similar time slots, even though I think Lord of the Rings releases on Thursdays, I think.
Yeah, they do. Hey, I have to go away for just a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
It's just me now. It's just me. So, realistically, there's just so much.
I'm here.
You were muted, so I didn't know if you'd like gone to the bathroom or something.
I will here in like 2 minutes, but anyways, finish your closing thoughts.
It just shouldn't. They shouldn't be lined up together. And I feel like Amazon already took a big hit because people did not want to sit through the real world building that was Wheel of Time to get to the payoff, which is a shame because it's very, very good. And you shouldn't be trying to fight Game of Thrones. It was... Excuse me. It was a bad move. It was a stupid move.
See, the problem was, like, the Lord of the Rings show was announced way before House of the Dragon.
Yes, and they spent an obscene amount of money on it. And it doesn't work. The way that it has been thus far, it just doesn't.
And that's what I was worried about when I saw the trailers. I was like, okay, you know, we're getting some more, you know, people, I've told people who enjoy Tolkien, like Lady Galadriel as a character in the books, we're getting to see some of her more notable things she does and how she ultimately becomes who she is by Lord of the Rings. Okay, I'm here for this. And then when I heard all that rumored stuff about the writing, I was like, oh, this is going to be awful. You're already pissing everybody off.
There's some people that are cheering it on because they are like Tolkien purists, and like it's not right. It's just in that show sucks. You are correct.
Yeah, it's just bad. And like I hate when like it could have easily had been good if some asshole decided to swallow his pride or whatever happened in those writing rooms and just bothered to care for longer than 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
I mean, we could segue this back into Marvel, but I feel like that's just going to get us back on a bandwagon that we don't need to talk about.
No, yeah, I did get into a heated discussion about like Thor 4 being the worst movie, and somebody looked at me like I was crazy just because they liked that it was a funny movie, and I was like, okay, you do you. But like,
yeah, it's just, it almost feels like we're pushing writers too far, and I know that we've talked about the state of how people make shit nowadays. Anyway, ain't nobody got time to read the Tolkien books. The Silmarillion is 340 pages. Fuck you. It's just we're pushing too hard for too much stuff, and we're all in on these safe, big audience building things. We're not getting anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're not achieving anything. We're not trying to do something that is new or entertaining or good. We're just throwing shit at the wall. I feel like Amazon's whole thing with Rings of Power was, you know what? We need a moneymaker. What do people like? Lord of the Rings? Okay, let's do that. And not we're going to make something that might, like, people will watch, that might be controversial, or might contain multitudes to it, because that's not what this is.
Again, they could have, even using Lord of the Rings as an example, they could have actually just did both. Like, you know they could.
Oh yeah.
If just have a little more respect for your source material, I guess, is the ultimate message here.
So, on that note, I want to go ahead and move into something that I actually have been enjoying, but, you know, like, I'm into kung fu shit. Cobra Kai has a new season that released on Friday.
Oh, Lord.
I am 2/3 of the way through it. Still actually maintaining my attention. We're starting to get onto areas of silliness, but, you know, like, stuff from the 80s, that's always kind of how it's been. So, I'm not terribly bothered by it. It's like the evil karate guy has a big master plan that he wants to do, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay, what's his big master plan? All right, I'm here for the interpersonal drama and the fight sequences, because they're good.
I do need to watch Cobra Kai at some point.
Oh, the Silmarillion is kind of like a Cliff Notesy sort of thing. It's not like story.
It's like reading a history book. It's kind of the best way to describe it.
Basically. I love that Jim said he'll be gone for a few minutes, but I'm like, hey, we're about to run out of shit to talk about.
I got plenty of shit to talk about.
Well, the only other thing that I had after I was done talking about Cobra Kai, if you're into kung fu things, you should watch it. If you liked The Karate Kid, you should watch it. Not the one with Jaden Smith, the real one. The one with Ralph Macchio.
Who is here in this show?
Oh, in Cobra Kai, you mean?
I thought he was.
Yeah, he is. Him and William Zabka and the guy that plays John Kreese, whose name escapes me off the top of my head. They brought back Terry Silver from the third one. They brought back Chosen from the second one. It's good.
My favorite, I've only ever seen one scene, and it was the scene where the blonde kid from the first movie,
William Zabka,
is explaining his perspective of events. Because I felt like that was really important to do.
That was the thing from the outset when they wanted to build the show, is that a lot of people, it always seemed like he was not truly villainous, but was, you know, like a hero of his own. He was a hero of his own story and a misguided character in Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And it works really well because it carries over the thought that two stories can both be true. That's the perspective of the show. Also, your main character is Johnny Lawrence. Johnny Lawrence is not the bad guy in the first movie. And Danny was also not the bad guy in the first movie. They were both the antagonists to each other's stories. That's the point. So yeah,
that's the only scene I've seen, and I liked it. I was like, "Ooh, we're doing this. I should probably sit down and watch this at some point."
The first two seasons are fire. They are fantastic. The third season's set up mostly for the fourth one.
Okay.
The fourth one really amps it up on the fighting sequences. It holds well for me. A lot of people actually really enjoy it, so I would recommend at least a watch through of the first season alone if you don't want to do any more than that, because the first season just takes all that stuff from Karate Kid and then just puts it right up on a pedestal and builds a foundation with it instead of just worshipping the thing that it was.
Speaking of putting things on a pedestal and building upon it, I I don't know. Have you heard anything about the new Gundam series that is coming out?
Not the current one, no.
No, you have not heard anything about Witch of Mercury.
I have not heard anything about Witch of Mercury.
Okay, so the official Gundam YouTube channel has put a prologue episode out
Oh boy.
that you can watch for free before the series has even came out. It is literally the setup episode to the series, explaining what has happened, providing context to what is going to be going on in the show. And I'm going to be honest with you. Our main character, if done correctly, which Gundam tends to do more often than not, she might be my new favorite pilot.
I don't know, it's
Like,
gonna be hard
actually-
for people to beat Setsuna for me.
Setsuna, he was in
He's 00.
Double O. But this isn't really a spoiler because anybody can go watch the prologue for free, and I'm going to give a brief synopsis. This takes place when our main character is actually, like, it is her 6th birthday.
Oh fuck.
Yes. Her parents are scientists working in a mobile suit lab.
Okay.
Other factions already know how to make Gundams. Okay, so
Oh.
I'm going to that. Which if any of you know anything about Gundam at this point,
That's bad.
that's a very big change. If you've delved into a lot of Gundam lore, you also know that sometimes in Gundam lore, Gundams have a sense of self, so to speak.
The same way that the Avas do.
Think like AI think like the robots in iRobot. That's like kind of the best way. Think like how he is. Like they have their own wills about them, and sometimes they will just not listen to their pilot and do things on their own. And that can or cannot be bad. We have decided to up to the 11th degree. So, they have their own variancy of the Leia Vignana system from Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Oh,
It is significantly more dangerous.
oh yes.
Like actually it's more like Ava synchronization. Actually, that's a better way to describe it. Like you have to actually be able to mentally sync with your Gundam. Side effects may include that the deeper you try to sync, it will kill you. Like the Gundams will actually ultimately kill their pilots.
Well, that sounds pretty normal.
If you try to pilot too, but like, no, I mean like they full on like fry your brain, like you're bleeding from your nose and eyelids, like it's that, we're going that type of. So, this little girl's a pilot. Her parents, it's her 6th birthday. Her parents and her grandmother are trying to build a Gundam for the purpose, literally built for the purposes of space exploration. Like that is all it is supposed to be able to do. It is built for people to be able to explore deeper reaches of space to expand like human colonization. That is all they want to do. So how can this possibly go wrong, right?
Somebody else wants it.
No, somebody wants to destroy it.
Oh, God,
There's
we wanna stay on Earth.
There is an Earth faction guy that does some political maneuvering in the background to get this publicly he's trying to get this program shut down.
Oof.
But secretly he sent a hit squad to like kill everyone in this lab and blow it up.
Oof.
And he gives a bad guy speech in the prologue, and it's the most fucked up bad guy speech you could possibly imagine, as far as I'm concerned, because his speech says it's a bad thing that the Gundams can kill their pilots. It is the responsibility of humanity to kill other humans, not machines. It's the cliff notes of this.
This is gonna be an extremely cool, fucked up show.
Because humanity understands the gravity of what it means to kill, a machine can't.
I'm into it.
So improving our Gundams is only going to lead to. He's basically arguing that we're going to be desensitized to violence, and that's bad. Not that war is bad, but being desensitized to war is bad.
So we're gonna do that by killing more people.
So initially it's just like, oh, we've shut down the program. But nobody knows that these people are killed. Like, everybody's getting killed. They only have two other like jobber Gundams, I call them, like jobber bots, to pilot and defend themselves with. And they're doing a really good job until an enemy ace pilot shows up. And this guy, oh my god, like, speaking of Sukuna and 00, the way he looks and the way, like, it functions reminds me of how the Gundams function in 00. Like, it does the particle effect thing and everything. Oh no, it's worse. So, what is the most logical conclusion? This guy, like, the people who made this Gundam are dumb smart and deserve, like, a raise for what they did here. You know what they hooked this Gundam up with?
What?
An EMP system to turn off other mobile suits. That doesn't fry its own circuitry. At one point, he is fighting a pilot, grabs it, like, releases the EMP blast and shuts it down and just puts his lance through the pilot. Like, actually, he has a neutron jammer, and he shuts down this enemy pilot. So, the big thing about this Gundam is, this Gundam doesn't want to wake up. Like, the Gundam they are trying to build doesn't want to do anything. Like, when people try to sync with it, they only get so far, but they can't get far enough to get it to turn on.
Ah, okay. Gosh, you weren't kidding, it's a full 24 minutes!
Like, I'm serious, it is a full prologue, and I highly recommend everybody watch it. It's free, it's a good time, especially if you like...
Ah, there's another...
War-esque type stories.
Also another Bleach trailer.
Oh yeah, that was a thing, but that's locked behind Disney Plus, so we're not going to talk about that.
Well, we can play the trailer.
We can play the trailer while I talk about Gundam, yeah. So anyways, the little girl was hiding in the suit.
Okay.
Her mom gets there and, like, launches it out to, like, try to just, like, maneuver it like a jet so they could escape. Dad's in the other mobile suit trying to pilot. But in a random scene, Grandma turned it on so she could talk to it.
Oh.
So the little girl was just talking to the Gundam like it's a person, like, hi, I'm so-and-so. Today's my birthday, and, like, I like this, you know what I mean? Like, little kid shit.
Okay. Alright, cool.
So they get out, and Dad's trying to make sure the enemy ace doesn't kill them. And then the Gundam turns on.
Gundam says no.
Oh, we named this I believe this Gundam is named Lilium. Gundam Lilium is what we have titled this one. So we named this Gundam after a demon. And this Gundam, oh boy. Like, I thought EMP Gundam was bad. Like, this one's pretty bad. Like, this one might be, depending on how the rest of the show goes, this one might be in the top or upper echelons of, like, OP Gundams.
Alright, I'm set up here. Are we ready to watch this, kids?
Right, Captain.
フォローを存在そのものから消すことができるものなど
I can't see it. Oh well.
Oh, it's on the stream. Do you want me to stream it for you?
Nah, it's all good. If it's a Bleach trailer, I've probably seen it already.
Oh, it came out 10 hours ago.
Yeah, I've probably seen it already. Probably the one I've seen already. But no, it turns out she is meant to be that Gundam's pilot.
Nice.
That 5-year no, this 5-year-old girl murders like 6 mechs in 30 seconds, and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. She thinks it's a game. So this Gundam has like a shield and a rifle on the right arm, but the shield can come apart and do the seeker laser things from the Talkies, from the upgraded Talkies. You know the ones I'm talking about, where the lasers shoot out and they can fall. Like, she does that, and it can form back into a shield at will. It almost looked like she's metal bending the shield. It is ridiculous.
Aw, my man just yelled Bankai.
We're here for this. Remember, you can watch Bleach 1000 Year Blood World on your local pirating site. Because fuck Disney.
I wonder how many episodes they got for this, though.
A lot, probably.
I was gonna say a standard Bleach arc is a minimum 50 episodes.
I have a feeling this one's going to be at least 2 arcs worth. This is going to be 100 episodes of psychoticness.
It's all the same arc, though.
I know, but like there's so much that happens in this. I could see them stretching it out over 50 episodes.
I could see that, too.
But anyways, so the dad has to come and rescue her because EMP OP, please nerf. And it's really sad because dad's gonna die because he's like oversynced with this Gundam, and like mom's trying to fly away. And you know what they do? They sing happy birthday, and it's the most depressing thing.
I look forward to watching this.
And the enemy commander just hears them singing happy birthday. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Are we being hacked? Is this a cyber attack? Like, what is going on here? Turn that off! And he's like, we can't turn it off. The problem is the way they framed the trailer for this series is she's not going to be an edgy boy.
Why would she be an edgy boy?
I mean, that is straight edgy boy backstory, though.
Yeah, but she could be a lot of different things. Fuck it, we'll watch the trailer for that, too.
Yeah, you're going to want to stream. I'm going to want to watch this one again.
Okay, hang on. There you go. Have that. Trailer number 1.
Witch of Mercury.
God, this music is straight up from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I mean, we're here for this.
Team Saber fight!
That's an enemy Zaku, by the way. That's ridiculous.
I believe this is also the first time we've had a female Gundam protagonist.
Yeah, like a main female, like the main character, yes. This is the first time. Every other female pilot has been kind of sort of a side character-ish.
I'll read the description here in a minute for it.
Oh yeah, we're bringing back the balls.
In the Haros?
Yeah, the horrors. I'm here for more horrors.
Haros are fucking great.
They're like Moogles. They're adorable.
This opening theme doesn't fit at all, and I'm here for it.
Look at this enemy. Look at that enemy Zaku, though. Look at how redonkulous that is. His Lubu look ass.
I know.
Oh, she does the shield forming thing. Oh my god. That shield comes apart and turns into homing lasers. It is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Oh, Setsuna has one of those too on his second.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, These might be some top tier mobile suits.
Oh,
in terms
I
of
don't
power
doubt that.
rankings.
Okay. Description. AS-122, an era when a multitude of corporations have entered space and built a huge economic system. A lone girl from remote planet Mercury transfers to Astacasia School of Technology, run by the Benneret Group. Oh no, the Bene Gesserit. I just flashback right there, which dominates the mobile suit industry. Her name is Soletta Mercury. With a scarlet light burning in her pure heart, this girl walks step by step through a new world. This feels like the description makes it feel like it's going to be a slice of life Gundam series, and that's probably not going to be it at all.
No, it's not, because the Bene Gesserits, I'm just gonna call them that because that sounds better. Like, that was the group that got her family murdered.
Yep, that tracks.
So, like, she is, at best, she's going to be, like, the exact opposite of Hero.
I'm here for it.
Which,
It's good.
if you've seen Wing, Hero is, like, peak edgy boy. He meets his future baby mama, and his first words to her were, "I'll kill you."
Not sure if this is enough info, but I'm waiting to see if he pastes something in the chat.
I recommend everybody watch this prologue. Even if you don't end up watching the show, at least just watch the prologue. You might be pleasantly surprised by what you see.
I have one other thing that we can talk about real quick if you want to, but that's entirely up to you. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
I mean, I always have stuff to talk about, but you can go.
So, have you seen any of the RWBY anime?
Oh my, I am waiting for it all to come out so I can just finish it then.
We are almost done. And
I know it's very divisive.
No, this is great. Fuck anybody that tells you otherwise. Monty Oum would love this shit.
I mean, that's why people are upset, because, like, why is this better than the source material?
You shouldn't be mad about that. This was written by real writers.
Oof. Facts.
I'm sorry, guys. Just you're not very good at it.
Just sell the IP to that studio and let them finish it.
Well, I'm already mad enough that they pushed off Volume 9 so that they could do some Justice League animations instead. It just makes it worse.
The Justice League RWBY crossover thing that nobody wanted.
Yep.
It should have been the Teen Titans, but okay.
So, yeah, anyway, the RWBY Ice Queendom is an anime adaptation of Volume 1 of RWBY, essentially. And it is really good character and world building and writing, and fuck, man. To be fair, the boys at Rooster Teeth try. That is true. They try. But Rooster Teeth has been beat down a lot by their business daddy in recent months. So that's not great. Trying a little too hard, honestly, and that's not their own choice for some of it. This is top tier shit. This is good stuff. And even if you don't know anything about RWBY, that's the great part, is it introduces you just enough into it to get you through this show, and then if you want to explore more, you're free to do so. Nothing but good
I'm
things.
here for it.
Nothing but good things.
Yeah, because these are the voice actors who, when RWBY got its Japanese dub, these are the same voice actors, isn't it?
Yes, and they're also working on an English dub right now with our voice actors. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh. I'm here for it.
Well, no, we'll see how it goes based on how they translate the writing to work. Because if you look at it one for one about the writing that's coming from RWBY volumes, it's probably going to be a little off.
I mean, they might have to be some adjustments, but I feel like they're not going to, like, completely, like, retranslate, recontext everything, you know what I mean?
Oh no,
not redoing
Yang
the script.
in Japanese works. When they I love Barb. Barb Dunkelman is probably one of my favorite people that work at Rooster Teeth. When she voices Yang in this, it's gonna be real hard because Japanese Yang just fucking works, man.
Isn't Japanese Yang the voice of Ryuko from Kill la Kill, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. Yep, he kind of. We here at Blake and the Casual love us some Kill la Kill. Lady Satsuki OP.
She's like, hi, hello, and then she takes the right things seriously. It's good. You should watch it. You should watch it.
It just works.
I don't want to spoil anything from it, and believe me, there are things that are worth spoiling because they're really cool. But I'm not gonna do that.
So what you're saying is we need to hang out in Discord and have us a watch party, so you can just watch my reaction to everything.
We can do that. Laugh. I got me the Crunchy Rolls.
True.
So yeah, now I'm out of stuff. Out of things to plug, out of shows that I care about, out of movies that I've watched, except The Northman, which
Yeah, historical period piece movies are weird. Here is the last thing I will talk about, and I think we can get into closing things. One last trailer to rule them all.
Okay. What am I Googling?
The trailer for Halloween Ends has been announced, good sir, with a release date of October 21st.
All right, hang on. We're gonna stream this. We're gonna stream it. Share window. There you go. I gotta put the media display back up. Boom, there we go. Full screen that motherfucker. Boom. Let's do this. Let's jam, kids.
Come on, let's go.
Ah, fuck yes!
Come and get me, motherfucker.
Sorry, October 14th.
Fuck the hell yes!
October 14th. A month from next week.
Ah!
I am here for this. I am hyped for this. This trailer, funnily enough, spawned the creation of people making their own fan trailers for the movie. My favorite one starts off with them singing the Silver Shamrock commercial from Halloween 3.
Fuck yeah.
I'll have to send that one to you. But no, I am hyped for this. There was also a new movie that's supposed to be really crazy called The Barbarian. We don't have to watch that trailer. I just want everybody to get hyped as fuck as we are... Actually, now, because we're about to wrap up, one podcast away from Spooptober.
Oh my god, we're also gonna get another Jeepers Creepers movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and the court case for Friday the 13th apparently has been settled, and we may be getting a Friday the 13th movie at some point.
Ooh. Okay. Alright. I can deal with that. I'm good with it. Release
I think
date
this is the one.
September 15th, 2022. Russia.
No, because I think this was the movie that got canceled and was supposed to be out like years ago.
I believe it is. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it real quick.
We can end this on a high note.
I mean, he doesn't get much higher than Michael fucking Myers, but sure.
You ever heard of the Creeper?
A local legend, right? The Creeper comes back every 23 years.
Then what? Can't believe I let you drag me to this.
This is the Coachella of cosplay.
It is time for our Creeper Draw! Our grand prize is an escape room for two. Creeper themed.
Come on, you two. Are you sure this is where we're supposed to be?
We'll be out there in no time.
What the hell is that?
It's coming. It's a trap.
There's no way out.
Come on!
It's coming.
Through the wall.
Through the wall.
Oh, holy shit! That comes out the 19th.
October.
No, this month.
Oh lord. Does that mean we're going to go to a showing?
Probably, yeah. Okay, now we're hitting wrap up. So, anyway, if we're getting a short list of stuff for the future, House of the Dragon and Rings of Power overhyped as fuck. Smaller shows are doing a better job. The anime season that's upcoming is gonna be fire. Spook movies. How does he get custom license plates? He's magic, Caleb. He's magic.
You're gonna pull that motherfucker over? Cause I'm not.
Complicated Gaming does ask, what is your favorite game, Swim?
Like horror game or
No,
just game?
just game.
My favorite game. If I have to be completely honest, Metroid Prime 2.
Good choice.
Metroid Prime 2 was my favorite. I played that one religiously.
All right. So, now that we have all that fun podcasty shit, which has mostly just been me and David talking, and a little bit of Jim, schedule for the week, as per usual, Monday, Mischief Mondays with Jim, 5:30 or 6 p.m. start time, and he will probably be playing either Spider-Man or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, because they're both good options. Tuesday, International Book Club, maybe, just maybe, we finish My Immortal 2. Maybe. Wednesday, day of rest, nothing going on. Thursday, Creeper is kind of like a predator, yes. Thursday, Blake and the Casual, we will continue our playthrough of Digimon Survive, which so far been a hell of a good time. Looking forward to it, honestly. Friday, we come back over for Casual Fridays, where Jim will either continue playing Spider-Man or Brotherhood again. Excuse me. Saturday, we will not have a D&D stream because somebody else wants to run a game for us, and he has not consented to broadcasting it on this channel yet. We'll see if that's a thing that changes in the future. if people are interested in viewing it. It is a space-themed campaign with a 5e sort of attached system, custom classes, all that jazz. And then Sunday, we'll be back on for group game day. That's all that we got for today. Swim, you got anything else that you want to throw out?
Halloween PSA, because I'm only doing this once. Remember, always check your candy, leave your